What's going on, everybody? It's time once again for the OpieRadio podcast. I find myself in Chocolate City. Oh yeah, I'm down here in Washington D.C. doing a little short family vacation, rocking and rolling around Washington D.C. I'm heading toward the Whitehouse because there's a lot of interesting people hanging out at the Whitehouse all day long. So I'm going to try to see what's going on over there. Maybe talk to some of the folks, see what they're thinking as far as the Donald Trump thing goes. Got to tell you, man, no one's really talking about Donald Trump down here. It's really, really strange. Really, really strange. But man, did they sell the MAGA hats and t-shirts and sweatshirts on every damn block down here. Also, the other thing I've noticed about Washington, D.C. since the last time I came down here, I used to come down here a lot when I was at XM Satellite Radio. They had us come down like once every, a couple months to do our show from down here so we could get the feel of Washington. But the one thing that has changed since my days coming down to Washington a lot is they got these electric scooters. My God, they are awesome. I don't think New York City can handle the electric scooters, but Washington, D.C. has figured it out, and a few other cities. Although, the homeless people, every time we jump on one of these electric scooters, it's me with a kid and my wife with a kid. The homeless people, they point at us, they point at the scooters, and they go, no, I wouldn't ride those if I was you. We have had a few homeless people do this to us, which is hilarious. But I guess there's a lot of people that don't know how to do the electric scooters, so they've been crashing these things all over the freaking place. But anyway, it's so cool, though. You have an app. There's like 3 or 4 companies down here. I think we've been using Skip, but Lyft is in the game, and a couple other companies. And hold on, we'll get a little music for you. A little music for the podcast. All right, that was a bust. Some of these people, some of these street musicians, I learned this when I was in Boston. They know like one bar of a song, maybe not even. They know like 10 seconds of a song, and they play it over and over and over again. So they learn that 10 seconds, and they figure, as you're walking by, you're like, man, that musician really knows what they're doing. And by the time you pass, they're done with their 10 seconds, and they start that same 10 seconds over again. That's kind of what was going on there outside the metro. They didn't really have their shit together. Anyway, back to the scooters. So you get an app, download this app, you walk up to any electric scooter, little barcode, you take a picture of the barcode, it says, all right, man, this is your scooter, and then you jump on it. It's electric, tells you how many miles it'll go before it runs out of power. And then you're on your way, and then you could drop it off wherever the hell you want. Literally wherever the hell you want. Which made me think of Carl. I started laughing my ass off because I'm like, Man, if this was in New York City, how many of these would end up in the Hudson River? But also with the app, you just click on the app and it gives you a whole map of where all the electric scooters are. You can see if there's one in your area to go get, and it's the best way to kind of tool around Washington, D.C. to see all the monuments. Because if you've been down here, man, those monuments are spread out. And it's a lot of walking. But you jump on one of those electric scooters, you're going from monument to monument pretty quickly. And it's a lot of fun. The kids really, really enjoy it. So, love the scooters. DC, love the scooters. So, we're about a block and a half away from the White House right now. What else did we notice down here? Oh! Went to Ford's Theater where Abraham Lincoln was shot. And they don't really tell you that pretty much the whole theater was redone. And not much of the original theater remains. I guess after Abraham Lincoln was shot at Ford's Theater, the Army took over the space and made it some kind of, I don't know, warehouse or something like that. And then fast forward a bunch of years, like the damn thing collapsed and 22 people died. So when you come to Washington, D.C. and you go to Ford's Theater where Lincoln was shot, it was pretty much put back together using a lot of pictures and whatnot. So you're sitting in this theater thinking, wow, this is crazy history. And you realize, no, not really. They redid this damn thing, somewhere in the early 1900s. But then you go across the street and you see the bed that he actually died in, which is pretty wild. And you also learn that Abraham Lincoln has no living relatives. None. No Lincolns are alive. That family chain has ended. But Ford's Theater is still cool, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck in trying to cross this traffic. I'm at a crossroad here. Let's see. All right, we're getting close. I think we're at Lafayette Park, which is right across the street from the White House. I remember also when I used to come down to Washington, D.C., this park was taken over by the homeless people, but they took back the park. It's beautiful now. Really, really beautiful. It's a gorgeous day down here in D.C. Looks like quite the crowd outside the White House. You can see it in the distance. We should be there in like a minute or two, and we'll see what kind of people are hanging out. We didn't get to go to Arlington Cemetery. That's always a must-do when you're down here in D.C. I don't think we're going to make it this time. We pushed it. Wow, there's like Secret Service all over this park. And those are the ones you could see. There's one with that giant German Shepherd to my right. And I have an incredible fear when it comes to German Shepherds. Hate German Shepherds. Ever since getting nipped in the knee on my paper route all those years ago. So that's my dog that I'm scared shitless of. Yep. True story. As I try to tell my kids, don't be afraid of dogs. And then every time I see a German Shepherd, I lose my mind. I get so scared. All right, we got a tour going on. Let me see if I can get some audio. Tour right in front of the White House.
Standing the tent about 6 years ago, who walked away from it, but because he had post-traumatic stress disorder, they put him back up. Okay. All right, let's continue walking.
I put the mic in front of that lady. You heard her. She paused. She didn't know what to do. I don't even know what she was talking about. Oh, well. All right. We are exiting Lafayette Park. We are on Pennsylvania Avenue. Gorgeous spring day. Gorgeous. What's up, brother? cleanhonestgov.com.
Yes, sir.
What are we pushing today?
Besides everything you see, clean, honest government. And it's easily attained. All we have to do is just count every registered voter's vote.
Right.
Every registered voter's vote.
Well, that seems to be impossible in this day and age, unfortunately, right?
Why is that?
Well, because we're not going in that direction.
Well,
It seems like we're making it a lot harder to vote.
oh no. It couldn't be any easier to vote in the United States of America.
Well, no, if they wanted to make it really easy to vote in the United States of America, they would put it on an app like everything else. Can you imagine voting for our elected officials with an app?
We're worried about people hacking our computers now as it is. Just putting more stuff on the computers just makes it easier to control everything.
Yeah, but I don't think the government wants everyone to vote, obviously.
They don't have anything to say in it. All we have to do is count everybody's votes.
Right.
Ever since 1776, there's only two ways you can vote. You either consent to something on the ballot or someone on the ballot, or you don't.
Right.
And if you don't go to the polling station at all, you have not consented to anything or anyone on the ballot.
Do you think you're making your voice known if you don't vote?
Of course.
George Carlin famously said he never voted. And that was his way of showing his disdain for the system.
He must have read the unanimous Declaration of the United States of America, the binding contract among all United States Americans, which basically says governments get their just power from the consent of the governed.
Right.
Which
Exactly.
means if you don't go to the polling station, you have not consented to anyone or anything on the ballot.
Right.
And that means, and in today's numbers, the vast majority of people, 60 to 80% of registered voters, have not consented to over 98% of the people in our elected offices. If we start listening to those numbers, we can easily get rid of corruption in our government because they can't get the majority of the total number of registered voters' consent.
Right. You're a smart man. But are you out here every day?
Yes, sir. I'm about to take over here for the night shift. I'm usually here from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m.
And what's this whole setup? Can you explain it? Because this is obviously a podcast, so it's hard to see.
Okay.
Almost impossible to see because we don't have the video element today.
Yeah.
So why don't you walk us through what you guys got set up every day outside the White House here on Pennsylvania Avenue?
At 1601 Pennsylvania Avenue, across from the 1601, across from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, we have a peace vigil. It's been here since 1981.
This has been here since 1981.
24/7.
Wow.
It's against war, nukes, and human rights violations. You have a couple of big boards on each side of what appears to be sort of a tent or igloo, whatever you want to call it. And a number of people have been here. William Thomas, you obviously can't see, but there's a picture of him on each side of it, responsible for having started this. The park used to be, from what I understand, full of protesters until the government came out, threatened everybody with arrest.
Yes.
And yes, we are getting closer to China and Russia.
Yes.
Our government just hadn't started shooting people yet.
Right. Yeah, there used to be a lot more people protesting outside, and I noticed you guys are pretty much the only setup that is stationary. Some people come and go during the day. But,
Oh, yeah.
But you guys are here. Even when they clear out, the Secret Service every once in a while just clears out the area. What's that about? They just want to...
Yeah, if you look at carefully what they do when whoever's sitting here kind of gets out of sight, then they'll open the park up sometimes right away and start the clock and see how long it takes the person to get back. And if they don't get back within a certain period of time, then they declare that it's been abandoned.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they got some tricks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's been a couple of times I've been in the park when they closed it out, and the person who was down here had gone off to get a coffee, because usually when the person's around, they leave it closed for an hour or two.
Now, what's your history? Were you born down here? You came down here? What's the
No.
deal?
Started out in Iowa, went to school there, graduated high school, realized that everything I learned about government and how we're supposed to control it, everything that I was supposed to learn was incorrect, except for a few names and dates, but the events were incorrect. And swore an oath in the military that the same police officers and military and government officials swear today, uphold the Constitution, defended against enemies, foreign and domestic. I didn't know what that meant when I was in, and it wasn't until about 3 years after I started doing a real good research on it, and thus what I found and put on the cleanhonestgov.com website. So
You've been at this a long time, man.
not long enough because
Yeah.
it ain't over. It ain't done.
So let's get to the question. What do you think of Trump?
He's one of my employees.
Right. Yeah, he is.
When we start looking at our governments as the enterprises they are, and we own the political enterprises they are, and not to borrow too much from the conspiracy theories that our governments are corporations, because ever since 1776, 1756 dictionary says corporations, by definition, are body politic. Yes, governments are political bodies.
Yeah.
Therefore, they are corporations. And once we learn to treat them like corporations, we being the owners, we the people being the owners of them, the voters today, registered voters, being the controlling power over our governments, then we can realize that, hey, if they're not doing what they promised they were going to do, and they're doing everything opposite of what they promised, and they're going against our Constitution, we should be getting them out of office before the general election begins the next time around.
Right.
We have never fired any elected official during a general election. We have rewarded them. Maybe not with a re-election, maybe not with a contract renewal, but with benefits.
Right.
Because at the end of the term, they've earned their benefits, whether they've actually earned them or not, but they can declare that they have successfully completed their term and therefore have done a good job because they were not fired.
Yeah.
It's the same way that if I'm doing a contract for you to rebuild your house, I tell you it's going to take 2 years to do the extensive work that you need done, and by the time I'm about 6 months into it, I've completely destroyed your house, or pretty damn near doing it. Are you going to let me finish the 2 years?
Hell nah. Hell no.
Why do we do that with our politicians?
That's a great question.
They promise they're going to do one thing, and they swear an oath to the Constitution within 6 to 8 months, almost on the mark.
Yeah.
They have either passed a law that violates the Constitution, they have made no effort whatsoever to fulfill their promises, and yet we leave them in office the rest of their time to keep going in the direction of destruction they're working
Well,
on.
I would say most of us feel like we can't do anything about that, and that we can't get them out of office.
Only because
We're waiting for the rest of the politicians to get them out of office. Like right now, they're hoping to impeach Trump. So the Democrats are hoping that they can convince the GOP to impeach Trump. I mean, we're going to grow very old before that happens.
didn't we go through that with Clinton and various other presidents?
Of course.
And we still haven't learned that we have a one-party system in the United States of America.
Right.
One end of that single party is the Democrats, and the other end of that single party is the Republicans. They scratch each other's back, they wash each other's hands, and they protect each other very carefully in these United States.
I really, really like you. Because they have us fighting. Like, I'm a Democrat, you're a Republican, and we fight tooth and nail. And these guys down here in D.C., they're all in on the game, man. I'm 100% with you.
That's right.
And they're laughing at us.
We have a thing in this country called political divides, and our
Yeah.
government is expert at dividing us in every sector of population.
Yeah.
With respect to young, old, and middle-aged, respect to poor, rich, and middle class, with respect to left, right, and the middle political parties, with respect to male, female, and trans, every conceivable division we are.
Yeah.
And if you happen to not fit into my particular political division, we're not going to talk.
Yeah.
So if there's a candidate that goes to your political division and promises you not to do X, Y, and Z, and comes to mine and promises me that they're going to,
Yeah.
both of us are going to elect that fool.
Of course.
And they are playing us for the fool.
Of course.
Once we drop those political divides,
Yeah.
we're going to start talking. What do you mean John Doe promised you he was going to do X, Y, and Z? He told me he wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, he's either going to screw you or me or both of us.
Yeah.
And it generally ends up being both.
I would say it's going to be both.
Yeah.
In most cases.
And once we start talking with each other, only then will we win.
Well, we don't really talk with each other. We talk at each other, and
No, you're wrong.
Oh,
I'm right.
yeah, exactly. You scared me for a second. But that's happening on Facebook
Yeah.
every single day.
Yeah.
You're too stupid to understand that I'm right, and you're wrong, and we don't actually discuss the issues because right away you're on the defense to protect your position, your political position. So we're not getting anything done. I mean, I believe that we have more in common than we don't.
Yeah, kind of like right here.
What's going on over here?
Two disagreements. One it's political theatrics, and the other arguing.
Wow, very good.
But anyway.
All right, sir, I'm going to let you go.
But with regards to Mr. Trump, cleanhonestgov.com,
yes,
I have been trying to get to my employee, Mr. Trump, to show him how he could do a much better job, a lot less costly, and complete almost all of his campaign promises in less than 100 days.
Damn.
6 constitutional executive orders that we should, if he's not going to do them, follow through or do with 6 clarifying constitutional amendments. Drain the swamp. And I'll just briefly go through these if you get that.
Yeah, right on.
Draining the swamp would remove every politician in an elected office who did not get the consent from the majority of the total number of registered voters because they are occupying the office unconstitutionally, unlawfully, in violation of the contract. The illegal immigrants. Properly enforcing Amendment 13 will not only reduce illegal immigration, but all crime in the United States by making the penalty far more severe than the rewards of the criminal activity. The biggest tax break to the working class comes when people realize that your wages are not income by definition. Wages are the gain, or wages are the compensation for labor. Income is the gain which proceeds from labor. So the biggest tax break to the working class is stop paying income tax on your wages. A tax break for the wealthy and those people who actually do have income. Since our income tax law is not equal protection under the law, because if you're a billionaire and I'm a homeless person, we should pay the same number of pennies on each true dollar of income. Our nation's debt, most of that's unconstitutional. And are you aware that we, the people, are not obligated to pay any unconstitutional debt? Only those who authorized it and those who did not repeal it and having the position to do so are personally liable for that debt. Wipes it off our books,
right?
Dropping it down into the billions and not trillions.
That would help a lot.
Oh, heck yeah.
You think?
And then, are you aware that the census, the 6th one, that the census is not even authorized by the U.S. Constitution?
No.
It isn't.
No idea.
The word appears in the U.S. Constitution about 2 times, but it appears alongside the word enumeration. The Constitution has authorized Congress to do an enumeration, not a census. An enumeration can be part of a census, but a census is not part of an enumeration. By definition, the difference is an enumeration is how many people live here? Oh, thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
A census is how many people live here?
Yeah.
How old are they? What's their sex? What's their age? What's their social security number? What's their color of skin? What's their religion? How much money do they have in their bank account? And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That is a census, and that is not authorized by Congress.
They want you to
hold on.
Your family members that might not have a piece of paper. And they didn't get, many of them, not them, but great-grandfathers, great-great-great-great-grandfathers came without official paper from the people that were here, the Native Americans. So they want to impose what they were able to get away with on the people now. So this country was founded in a way where the original people that were here weren't consulted on how many people would so-called overpopulate it. So when anyone says the border is closed, our country is full. Well, who perpetuated the country being full?
Who decided that?
Who decided that? Not the people that were from here. The people that immigrated to here that then decided that they were going to be the majority in Congress. And remember, for many years, which me and him do agree on, women didn't have the observed by our government right to vote, but they did have the right to vote. Susan B. Anthony should have been able to walk straight through the people that forced her not to walk through and been able to cast a ballot. Here was an attorney. Here was a landowner. Here was a white person. She didn't own a human, but she had been willed property by her grandfather. So she was a property owner. What was left? No dangle.
No dick.
The only thing left You're from the wrong gender.
Right.
Couldn't vote.
Well, women been fucked.
This intelligent person that couldn't be
Yeah.
a representative, a mayor, couldn't be voted in for city dog catcher. That intelligent person that had everything checked that they wanted, except for one.
Didn't have the dick.
Didn't have a cock.
Didn't have a cock. Well, women have been.
You know, she had what the guy across the street wants to grab.
Yeah, a pussy. What's your thoughts on Trump?
My thoughts on Trump is
I know it's
I
a
like
hack
him.
question.
Yeah, that's all right. I like that he reversed the TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership. Sorry, but that's the full story on what I like.
That's it.
Do you have the 35 hours right now for me to go into what I don't like?
How about you give me one good one?
I'll give you one good
One good one.
Okay. 63 times Donald Trump has attempted passing laws. Our U.S. federal judges have ruled on his proposed law changes to be unconstitutional, prohibiting his attempts to reach the floor of Congress. So his attempts of his law changes, right? At his inauguration, he put his hand on a Bible, vowing to defend the Constitution and the people of the United States of America from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Khashoggi?
Well, if the same bodies that are prohibiting Mr. Trump from doing this had done so with Obama and Bush, we would not have the Treason Act or the Unaffordable Care Acts.
And every single other president, probably besides. I tend to say a lot about Eisenhower and JFK. JFK didn't get to finish his first 4 years, but those two, I think, came the closest. And because of their margins of victory, I know JFK did hit that margin of victory to have gotten the 50% of the registered voters, because there was still a lot of black people that weren't going to register to vote in 1958 and 59. You know, they know back of the bus, back of the bus, back of the bus, back of the bus, get beaten, have dogs bite you, back of the bus, back of the bus. So there was a whole lot of people that were 18 and older that actually had the right to vote that said, well, you know what? We're not screwing with this voting thing.
We ain't dealing with that, right? How long have you been out here?
I started
Years-wise?
My godfather in 1981, I started helping him.
So you guys have been coming here more or less every day since 81?
No, okay, 81 through about 96, 97, I was helping out 8 to 10 overnights a month. We had a lot of volunteers when William was still alive. And then in 97, he was diagnosed with respiratory failure. It's the same year that Haile, who I used to work for, the former king of Ethiopia, passed away.
Right.
So it was just a convenient time.
Have you guys seen some crazy stuff? Have you seen any of the guys going over the fence?
All of it.
You've seen all of it?
Yeah, I've seen people go in the middle of the street, drop trout, take shit right in the middle of the street. And then when the cops came to arrest him, he saw it and said, "They're arresting me because I'm black." 2 African-American guys came over and go, "What are they doing to our brother, yo? What are they doing to our brother?" And I said, "Dude, you see that lump right there? He went out there and took a shit in public." They themselves said, "They ain't arresting you because you're black, nigga. They're arresting you because you're stupid." So it's all about people aren't stupid.
Was that the best statement you've seen in front of the White House? A guy taking a dump?
That's the one that's a little. Well, there was a eighth grade junior high school group that had lined up and for the principal to start taking a picture, and he drops trout, and luckily it was an all boys school, and they're all going, "But no, calm down, I want to take this picture." No, but they can't even get the name of their principal out because they're just so, whoa, are we seeing this for real? And then so he said, "I just want," he yells at them, and like I'm sure they look petrified, and he takes a picture, and then they tell their principal to turn around, and the guy's full squat, hasn't even finished the full load of rope.
Another guy?
No, the same guy.
Oh, the same guy.
He finished that full exit.
Right.
And then he came over, "Hey, did you know he was going to do this?" Because the guy actually, he bought me
Wait, you're still talking
oatmeal
about
and coffee. Yeah, the same guy, the shitter.
But then I asked about another one, and then you started telling the story about the all boys school.
Yeah, that's the same. They
Oh,
came
it's the
up.
same guy.
Yeah, the same. The guy
Oh,
came,
same story.
Yeah,
Okay.
the guy
Jeez,
came up and
all
bought
right,
me a
gotcha.
coffee and an oatmeal.
All right, I got you
And
now.
the
Okay.
Secret Service doesn't know what's going on. Hey, did I tell him to do it? He goes,
Right.
No, I didn't tell him to do it. He goes, he just said, hey, it's 8 o'clock. It's time.
Right.
Because it's time for what? He's already walking out there. And he had his bag because he had his whatever pancakes and sausage from McDonald's too. And of course he had some coffee to make sure that came out good. And I say, well, look in there, and he might have napkins in there, and he did, and he had the clamshell from his big breakfast. So they make the guy. So they're gonna go out there and make the guy start scooping it up. The African American guys come up here. They said what they said, and when they're surrounding him, he stands up and he thinks he's gonna grab Dick and start. And he got a little bit of his urine out before they threw him to the ground.
Oh yeah, and messed him up.
And then
And now they have to mess him up, right?
they got a few kicks in and a few swings in.
You can't blame Secret Service at that point, no?
Yeah, they had the reason to be mad.
Okay, good.
They had a little reason to be mad, but I think that you still don't beat them up.
Yeah.
But if you are in the job where you're supposed to be expecting the worst and it happens, it doesn't give you any extra authority to violate people's rights.
To beat them. I think that who they beat up was somebody that might have been psychologically impaired.
Yeah.
Or he wasn't drunk.
Definitely
He
trying to
talked
make
to
a statement.
Oh, he was making a statement, all right.
Right. I know. Luckily, I was too far away from it to smell it. But they bring their own horses. Park police bring their own horses here, and they take lumps this big, and it's very offensive. And they leave them. Yeah.
So you guys are here just to try to keep the government honest, basically, right?
Right. That's right.
And have you seen anybody go over the fence?
Oh yeah, a lot of times. Actually, the guy
And
that
who
got
chases-
over.
And where does the Secret Service come to
Check
chase
this
them?
out. There was 4 of them or so by this unit right here talking to each other. Let's see. That unit was a little closer, and it was an SUV that day, and there's 3 of them over there chit-chatting. And there was only 2, and they were the young ones, because these guys feel like they didn't have to do much. So the young ones, they were mixing in a crowd, and the Washington Times had reported that Barack Obama's helicopter was going to be leaving at 7 p.m. Well, it lifted at about 7:05. And they're all here. They want to take photos of Barack Obama leaving. Oh my God, take photo time. And so there was a lot of people here, and 7 of them were not dealing with the crowd whatsoever.
And that happens frequently.
They'll have a powwow of 8 or 9 bike police here up in the park congregating.
Oh, so the Secret Service weren't dealing with the crowd control, really. They were more worried about Barack Obama and the helicopter taking off from behind the White House, which must be quite the sight.
They were more concerned about their personal conversation they were having, not paying attention to what the crowd was doing.
I like you guys.
Yeah, like you see that one with, of course, misogynistic. You see that one with big boobs. They're going to talk about that.
So they're talking about the hot
all
women
the time.
walking by.
Oh, they'll talk to me.
Yeah.
About that.
So then this guy
Because,
realized...
I'm part of the good old boy fraternity because
Sure.
I'm a male, because I got the cock that Susan B didn't.
Yeah, so this guy saw an opportunity and said, you know what, they're not really paying attention. I'm going over the fence.
So actually, the Sunday before, and it's already October, so the Sunday before, he came by and he lifted his shirt. And, it's October, so I'm thinking maybe it's a Halloween costume. And he lifts his shirt, and there's a hatchet, and I think it might be a play hatchet. Put his shirt down pretty quickly over it. And I said, at that point, I just start singing Rocket Man by Elton John, but I changed the lyrics to Hatchet Man. Hatchet Man, you're gonna go and murder everyone. And then little boy won't see dad for a long, long time. I think I sang it smoother when I sang it with him.
Sure.
It was sort of like off the cuff, right?
You just knew this guy was in trouble.
And he goes like this to me.
Thumbs up. Yeah.
And walks off and I go, okay, you know what? Pretty damn cool costume of a guy that's going to go butcher people. So on this day, which was Sunday, and then that was Friday, and he jumps the fence and he gets himself all the way inside.
Wait, you saw him jump over the fence
Yeah,
with the hatchet?
I'm the one. No. On the day on Friday, he didn't have a hatchet.
Okay.
He might have got some advice from people that he was talking to,
Right.
not to have the
So
hatchet.
when you first saw him,
But
he had a hatchet.
Yeah, and the next time he had a good steak knife.
Okay.
A long steak knife. So, but I'm the one that yelled, "There's a jumper!" And as loud as I've ever heard myself yell, and I was a punk rock singer in 4 different punk rock bands.
Yeah.
And it was louder than I ever have sang on mic. And then these guys turn around, and one, I'm talking about like 240 pound, 5'6" Secret Service, runs over there. I was surprised that he could move that fast. And the guy's fully over the fence, almost his feet hitting the grass, and he still makes a swipe to act like he was making the concerted effort to get the guy. When I yelled, because again, Barack Obama's helicopter had left, well, our helicopter that he used during his 8 years, there was still Secret Service on the top of the White House, which we know sometimes could be up to 16 of them. But for this, it was probably about 8 of them. They run to the front of the U.S. flagpole, and one points his gun and releases no warning shot. Another thing, so not at attention to the task.
The immediate area.
Okay. Not noticing a guy approaching the fence, not releasing the dogs, the guys on the roof not firing a warning shot, and then as soon as the guy on the roof said stop, the guy started zigzagging. I was going, I think he's militarily trained, because that's what they train you to do if something's from above.
So he was zigzagging across the lawn?
Yeah.
On his way to the front door?
On the way to the front door.
Wow.
And then my jaw dropped. They're yelling at everyone, up to 8th Street, up to 8th Street, up to 8th Street. My mouth drops as I see him open the front door and get his ass inside the White House. Okay, at that point, everyone's already exited. I tuck in, watch.
Or did he just watch too many movies?
Say that again?
Was it military training, or did he just watch too many movies?
Yeah.
Later on, we found out that it was 2 tour of duty in Iraq.
So you slid into your makeshift
And I'm listening.
shelter here.
Yes, and I'm listening.
We're in the shelter now,
And-
yes.
And so I hear from my left side a vehicle come up, and I look, and it's all black. And I go, fucking hell. Department of Justice. We're talking about 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes after, but if there was a Department of Justice vehicle in the area, they're going to come, and this heads are going to roll. They all came over all at the same time. Heads are going to roll. Heads are going to roll on this one. And then he got back into his vehicle, and he sped around into the entry gate on this side, and I saw the vehicle come up to the drive path right in front of the White House. I see him run in and also run in. But one thing I didn't notice him do, when he got there, as I'm like this, because my arms are decently strong.
Yeah.
And
You're in a wheelchair. I just have to say for the visual here. So you're pulling yourself up on your wheelchair so you get a better view.
And the guy didn't stop right when he got into the White House. Okay. So I go, damn, and I grab a sign, which was pretty much against what government does to us all the time. And I grab the bucket and I start with, hey, Filipos, you haven't been at 8th Street yet? I go, no. And they go, how much did you hear? Man, I was busy like putting things together here and grabbing the right sign, finding the right sign to go up there. And then, okay.
They were scared you saw too much.
Yeah. And one of them rolled me up there.
Really?
Which he knows is rare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they let me do it. So, okay, I get up there. El Tiempo Latino, Washington Hispanic, LA Times, local affiliate, New York Times, New York City College, the UCLA Bruin, the Cronkite Network, which also prints their newspaper. They're from Arizona State University. Ethiopia Gazeta, Kenya Kiswahili, Sao Paulo Nova from Brazil, El País from
A lot of media is basically
all
what
media.
you're saying.
And they're all coming up.
I get it.
And they're going, I say, who's got the good, and Ethiopia Gazette says, Filipos, get Injura not? Yasil Kale. So they're saying, I just called for you to get Injura, like Ethiopian food. And they're going, he's going first. So, I'm eating my way through the interviews because they're also going to ask questions. So there's, like 15 seconds opportunity. I'm getting my food in there. And then different networks are coming up and they're, hey, $50 Starbucks card. I said, did I hear $50 Starbucks card? Okay. This interview is not done yet. So another guy comes in, $100 IHOP. You go, I like Starbucks coffee better than IHOP, but I'll take that 100. I'll put you second. So they're all getting moved back. Would you believe it that the Washington Times came through with 2 chicken sandwiches?
Nice.
They were on the dollar
Congratulations.
menu. On the dollar menu.
Good for you, buddy.
No coffee, no tea.
Good for you.
Nada. Just $2 item.
So the media negotiates with
No, I'm the guy that lays the law. I wonder what the Ethiopian food that was going to come was only $13, but it was coming.
Negotiating with gift cards. And
yeah. So Fox News, they just decided, wow. Filipos, when are you going to be here in the morning? I said about 8 o'clock. Because it was Friday night, so about 8 o'clock. And so they had a $50 IHOP, and this is, of course, the next day. And they had hot pancakes, eggs. I haven't been diagnosed with the diabetes yet. Had the syrup, had,
I don't mean to laugh at that.
24-ounce coffee. And I told, by the way, if you come, if it's a big coffee, 6 creams. If it's a regular size coffee, 3. So, it came exactly like I told her. Well, when I get up there, they said, well, they're saying that Department of Justice agent came to the White House, then that he caught him right at the front door. Said, no, it's complete bullshit.
You got in. And you were the one that told everybody.
Yeah. And they did not print what I said, except some of what I said, but not that part. And then 8 days later, when the official report came out from the Department of Justice, they got fingerprints on 8 interior doorknobs. He wasn't taken down the front door. And I was telling them the truth 8 days before media decided to listen and until the DOJ released fact. They were trying to cover their ass. By that time, the head of the Secret Service, her head rolled. She wasn't out here. She gives them instructions on what to do. They're not supposed to be kicking back and not doing their job. They're fools. You see underneath every single light pole, you see the bulb cameras? They're 80 feet on both sides, every 60 feet in the park. They think they can get away with this crap. That's why when we see them congregating in the park like they're away from these cameras, there's 7 or 8 of them together, we're just looking at each other and going, they don't even know that they're already licked.
Right.
Next time that they can find somebody to take their position at $65,000, the entry level for a Secret Service guy, you're gone because you're already making $93,000, and guess what? You're a lot closer to reaching that retirement. Right. You just do one more slip up, you're gone. So guess what? Abraham Lincoln said, put your boot heel on the throat of government until you get a response. And that's what I do. And John Kennedy said, those that make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable.
Damn.
So there are presidents that have dug what we do.
Right.
Right? Eisenhower.
What did Eisenhower say?
That's about the weapons that we used in Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Yeah.
Those two. He actually said damn. But they edited that on Time Magazine. Those 2 damn things were not necessary.
Right.
So they took off the word damn.
There you go.
There were 7 of our 8 generals that did not want to follow the orders of Harry Truman. Oh yeah, it starts with T-R-U-M. Truman. They didn't want to follow his orders, but there was MacArthur that. So he's the one that was the head of the Enola Gay.
Right.
But it would have been Ike if he
bless you.
Didn't. Thank you. If he didn't refuse. So he had the right of first refusal, I guess, and then he became the next president. I think some people actually respected Ike. He became the very next president after Truman. He told the truth.
Yeah.
Telling the truth once in a while, it should become trendy.
You think so?
I'd like it.
I would like the truth more than I get it.
Yeah.
But listen, I got to go, man. This was awesome. What's your name?
Filipos.
Filipos, and you're outside the White House pretty much every day. And my friend over here.
He is
What's your name again?
Dan Kingery.
Yeah, you did a great job, man.
Yeah, he does. He does a lot of times. Well, a decent amount of times, I pass the baton to him, and he passes the baton right back, and it's, and then I'll say, there's Neil Cousins, there's Craig Thompson, who's doing about 6 hours a week, and then there's Shell Iavoli,
Right.
who helps us out too.
There's a lot of reading. There's a lot.
But
There's a
between
lot of. There's
the
a.
most hours is him right at this time.
Yeah.
If I have a strong guy that's willing to,
Yeah.
I don't mind doing
There you go,
a little
man.
less, because
Why not?
they don't always last forever. That next person.
Listen, man, you got a lot of signs here.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite sign? Wanted wisdom and honesty. First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting. Oh my God, prohibiting. I'm tired. I've been looking at monuments all day, bro. I'm tired on those dangerous scooters that the homeless people have been warning me about. I got on with my little son, and they're like, homeless people are telling us, don't ride the scooters. They're dangerous.
They're dangerous, yeah. I've seen people crash out. I've seen people get really bad raspberries.
Yeah, no, but it's a good way to get around to see all the monuments.
Yeah.
Or prohibiting, of course, the free exercise thereof. And it goes on and on there. So.
Well, okay, yeah, the First Amendment, it's part of the Constitution.
Yes.
He
Yes.
stands up for the Constitution.
Yes.
And some things, people ask me, how can I have Dan here? And I go, you know what? We both
He's smart.
believe in the
He's
Constitution
smart.
of the United States of America.
Yeah.
And we both wish that they would follow it much closer to the letter of the law.
Right.
Actually, straight down the letter of the law instead of always trying to create new law.
You guys seem to stick out a little more here because you have a little more intelligence than there's a guy yelling and screaming over there, half
Brother
naked.
Bruce. Want to know? I'll if Bruce is hungry, I'll
help him out a little bit?
No, we both do. Like,
What's Brother Bruce about?
Brother Bruce is about that. No wrong thing ever happened in the United States till Donald Trump got inaugurated.
Oh, okay.
And it all started with him.
It all started with him.
And that the Democrats are actually the salvation of the planet Earth.
Yeah,
and
okay.
That
Okay.
the Democrats, that there's never been a Democrat that did anything.
And he's a 2020 presidential candidate.
Yeah.
Huh?
And he is a 2020 presidential candidate.
Oh, of course he is. All right.
He's running as a homeless person to lift everybody up from the bottom. That's his
all right.
campaign. And we got to remember this flag here.
Yeah.
This is Libyan flag.
Wow.
And this last weekend was the 6-year anniversary of Hillary Clinton having their leader killed. So
All right, with that, I'm
I don't
out.
have to
I'm
be
out. I'm going to come
completely
back and talk to you guys tomorrow before I head back to New York.
All right,
Thank
brother.
you so much, all right? Thank you, Dan. All right, we'll see you guys. That was awesome. Now we get to get closer to the fence of the White House. Let me give this guy a minute or two.
Does nothing but bring on extinction,
Here we go.
especially giving the balance of power over to Putin.
Preach, brother, preach.
Thank you.
For
I'll
the
try.
podcast. Let's go. Give me 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Give
we
me
got to
2
say
minutes.
no to the bullies from the grassroots to the Trumputins. That gets every cause in America on one side and really around the earth, and the spoiled brats of life, the dictator tots, on the other. The only way we save them from themselves is after we save ourselves from them.
You got a cardboard cutout of Trump with a pacifier, baby pacifier, in his mouth, and on his forehead it says 666 dicks.
Yeah, that's actually the number
That's
for
an
the
attention grabber.
Oh, yeah, that's the number for the whole Trump admin. But if you call that number, if you call 666 dicks, it does stop at 666 dick and you get Trump. Because you can't expect the whole Trump admin to answer one phone.
Right. So what's your deal? I heard from the guys over there you're running for president, bro.
Yeah, I am.
So say your name and
and
give me something here.
I'm running for president homeless, a leader who leads from beneath can lift everyone up. My name's Bruce.
What's up, Bruce?
Benoit, or Jesus Christ. But it's a little too much.
Hey, are
a
the
little
scooters?
TMI, huh?
Are the scooters are they as dangerous as everyone's telling me?
Yeah, scooters are insane.
The electric scooters?
Yeah, even when people leave them alone. You know what's missing from the design of those scooters?
Huh.
Is a bat to beat the crap out of it when you come across one around a corner and you trip over it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I would imagine if you're a local, you hate the scooters down here.
Yeah. No, everywhere. I'm talking from LA.
I'm from New York City, and you know the city bikes that you can rent? They throw them in the Hudson River.
Right.
That's how angry people get.
But the thing to keep in mind is,
Trump's done a great job rebuilding this country.
oh God,
But he hasn't stood up
I'm going to chew his ass out on nationwide TV and I'm going to spit the pudding right in his face.
Hold on, I'll be back.
Couple videos of their own documents and whistleblowers suppressing the speech of Christians and conservatives and the left is planning on using this to steal the next election. President Trump must take action against big tech racketeering right now. President Trump must enforce the First Amendment and Section 230 of the Telecommunications Act and stop big tech from being censors. The American people demand that their First Amendment be defended. President Trump has signed an executive order to stop colleges from banning free speech. That is the right move by the president. But the president must take action against big tech censorship now. All the evidence shows the Democrats already stole the last midterm election. They are openly bragging about the censorship that they are engaged in. And we, the people, must stand against this censorship. President Trump, you must defend free speech. President Trump, you must take action for the First Amendment, for racketeering with the Democrats and big tech are colluding together. And because the federal government has left a large vacuum open with no regulation against these censors, it is allowing the communist Chinese, it is allowing the authoritarian EU, and it's allowing the Hollywood leftist to, by fiat, create a world government censorship system. That's what's going on. Washington has allowed a major vacuum where censorship is taking place. We, the American people, demand that President Trump defend the First Amendment. The incredible lying in Congress that goes on and on and on as big tech heads tell President Trump that they do not censor when they've all admittedly in their own internal videos and documents admitted, not just company-wide at Google or Facebook or Twitter, but they admit that they're working with mainstream media to censor and silent voices of the American people that believe in your agenda to reboot this country and to make this nation great again. President Trump, your only area you're failing right now is because Congress won't let you defend the border and wouldn't give you the funding. We understand. But the place you can take action is as a champion of the First Amendment. President Trump, you've done a great job, but you absolutely must now come to the defense of the First Amendment. Come to the defense of the First Amendment. You must stand against big tech and their concerted efforts to censor Christians, conservatives, nationalists, and everyone else that stands for free speech, that stands for the First Amendment, that stands for the Second Amendment, and more. The internet has become an oligopoly of the big tech giants.
Damn.
Even the head of the EU program admits that that's why Zuckerberg and others are agreeing to censorship with the EU. President Trump, you are allowing the EU and the communist Chinese and big tech to work together to censor. The argument that the government can't regulate these companies is bogus, because foreign nations in the vacuum that Washington has provided are coming in to censor us. The American people stand with you, and they just stand with a reboot of this nation. But President Trump, we need you to act now. We need you to act now, President Trump, in defense of the First Amendment. We need you to act now and move against big tech censorship, President Trump. This is so incredibly critical to the future of this nation and the future of the world. Our media doesn't even criticize communist China working with Google and Apple and others to censor their population and put them in slave factories and to put over 1 million Muslims in forced labor camps in Mongolia. Our own corporate media supports Chinese censorship, and Google is doing a lot more than Project Dragonfly, as you know, President Trump.
Wasn't he hiring illegals?
There is a consensus. There is a consensus to stand against big tech censorship, and it's in the Bill of Rights. It's in the Constitution. You won't be regulating big tech. You'll be stepping in. powers and corporate consortiums fill that vacuum, that power vacuum, and censor Americans and meddle in our elections. It's critical to understand it's the Democrat leadership in bed with the communist Chinese and other globalist systems. And they are meddling in our election. The whole Russiagate fraud was meddling in our election. The censorship, blocking conservatives and Christians and veterans being able to speak, is un-American meddling in the First Amendment.
Damn.
Defend the First Amendment, President Trump.
They're using their First Amendment.
Don't let the globalists take our voices away. Stand against the tyranny of big tech, who's in league with the Chi-Coms, or you yourself are aiding and abetting President Trump. Don't let the American people that elected you be silenced. Stand for the First Amendment. You know about the censorship. You know what's happened. Stand against the fake news.
Violates the First Amendment.
Stand against the fake corporate news that seeks to silence you and that claims criticizing their lies is censorship. It is not. Shutting people's voices down is what's bad.
There's a treat for you. It's Alex Jones with a megaphone screaming at the White House. I don't know if Donald Trump could hear him. I'm going back to Bruce. Bruce! Come on, Bruce, what do you got?
Bursting balls, Jones.
What?
Trump is a dick, and Trump supporters are the STDs. Oh, good. I so wish this worked better. Trump! Alex Jones! You're an STD! I'm the dick that is Trump! That's not Alex Jones. That's an Alex Jones wannabe. Look, everybody, it's an Alex Jones wannabe. Shit, I thought that was Alex Jones. Wasted all my megaphone.
No, it is Alex Jones.
Is it?
Yeah, of course it is.
No, that's Sean Hannity.
No, that's not.
No, I think that's Sean Hannity.
No, Alex Jones.
Hey, Alex Jones! Alex Jones! Look at
The evidence of their collusion. We have the head of Google saying we're doing this to stop
Alex Jones making a scene outside the White House. Bro,
Trump.
he overpowered you.
Is it? What?
That's Alex Jones. He overpowered you.
I don't overpower shit. He didn't even overpower his own brain.
He's just screaming at the White House right now, brother.
Yeah, I'll get the other one out. I didn't know he was going to show up.
You better get the more powerful megaphone.
Donald Trump's a cowardly, sniveling, treasonous little worm! Turn the wall around Trump! He swallowed the swamp and now it's time to drain the Trump!
If walls work, how did Donald Trump get through those walls? He's a criminal.
The Secret Service is looking at Alex Jones like he's a fool. They're laughing at him. He's literally has a crowd of 200 people around him. He started across the street at Lafayette Park. He has now made his way right up to the fence. The Secret Service are moving in more and more, but they're all pretty much just laughing at him as he makes a fool of himself. More and more people are gathering. I was trying to get him on the podcast, but he was running out of breath as he was screaming through his megaphone. And I feel bad for poor Bruce, the homeless guy that's also running for president, and he just got overpowered. Bruce, you're busy?
Hold on, so I'm gonna need it. Yeah.
Oh, what are you setting up now?
A better mic. Because
A better
fuck his
mic?
asshole. Fuck this piece of shit asshole.
Why don't you like Alex Jones?
Alex Jones is a piece of goddamn propaganda shit.
Yeah, all right.
Fuck his asshole.
Holy crap! You're firing up. It's not. No, that wire's not right. He's setting up all sorts of wires to get a better sound system so he can drown out Alex Jones. But I don't know if this is gonna happen. Come on, Bruce. You got this. You got this, Bruce. You can do this.
Chill out.
Oh fuck! You might have to go back to the megaphone.
Oh, there we go.
You got it now.
Heard it. Yeah, I just heard it.
All right.
No, we didn't.
Oh, you fuckers. I got a good voice for it.
Nothing. It's not working.
You're a liar, Alex. Alex Jones, the one that films all the false flags. How did you film them, Alex? Because you set up false flag films. That's what you did, Alex Jones.
I have no respect for Alex Jones after that Sandy Hook bullshit.
The Sandy Hook bullshit! that you lost in court. Sandy Hook, 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 Sandy Hook.
Benghazi. No, I understand. Hey.
Donald Trump's a cowardly, sniveling, treasonous little worm. Alex Jones is a dick.
It's a little better. Bruce, it's a little better.
No, it's not.
No?
Not even close.
I'm sorry.
Trump sucks! Trump sucks! But not as much as the Trump supporters! Trump is a dick! Alex Jones sucks! Do the math! Trump is a dick! Alex Jones really sucks! Just do the math! Alex Jones is an STD on the dick that is Trump! It means social toxicity disorder. You're a dick!
Hey, Bruce, you're way more
You're
entertaining.
a dick on a dick!
You're way more entertaining, Bruce, than Alex Jones.
I know.
You know you are.
Absolutely. I'm running for president homeless. It's going to be fun. I'm going to chew his ass out. God, I wish I'd fucking get this shit to work.
Why don't you move closer to him? I'll get you my podcast. Let's go.
No.
Let's go. Move closer.
That's okay. No, I can't. You're not allowed to leave your stuff.
Oh, you're not allowed to leave your stuff?
Yeah.
All right, you guys stay there. Did you know Alex Jones was showing up today, bro?
No idea.
Does he do this a lot?
He does pop-ups. So that because if people knew that, I would contacted all the activists in DC.
Yeah. He likes attention, doesn't he, this Alex Jones?
Oh yeah, he does.
And I noticed the Secret Service are just laughing at him. They're just chuckling at him as he makes this publicity stunt up against the fence with his megaphone screaming his agenda.
Watch. I can go up and be right next to him, and guess what'll happen?
Jones is a dick. Build a wall around Trump. Build a wall around Trump. Build a wall around Trump. He swallowed the swamp, and now it's time to drain the Trump. He swallowed the swamp, and now it's time to drain the Trump. Build a wall around a Trump. Leave him down on the southern border alone with no witnesses, because that's how he works best.
Just total chaos out here. Total chaos.
We know you'll make the right decision.
Let's go back to Alex
Go
Jones.
after big tech. They're globalists. They hate America, and they hate you. We love you, President Trump, and we salute you.
Sandy Hook! Sandy Hook!
Sandy Hook!
A coward!
Sandy Hook! Sandy Hook!
Alex Jones is a coward! Run, devil, run!
Sandy Hook!
Alex Jones! Run away! Run away, devil! Run away from Trump!
Alex, what are you trying to do here today? What is he trying to do?
Stop mid-tech censorship! Stop mid-tech censorship!
Alex!
He yells and says Sandy Hook, which I never even hardly talked about. And they just use that as their thing. Oh, you don't get free speech. Sandy Hook, Sandy Hook. I don't ever even talk about it. They're the vampires that use it to try to shut down my free speech.
You're going to be on the show tomorrow, right, Alex?
Do you care about 5- and 6-year-olds, Alex Jones? Do you care about the people at Sandy Hook that you lied about? Do you care about them?
So
do you care about your false flag video?
He doesn't even,
What do you think
he
he
doesn't
said?
want
Do
to
you care
talk.
about your false
You
flag
won't even
video?
talk, will you?
Oh, did you let anyone talk over your megaphone? You
Listen, you're not gonna ask me
hypocrite.
questions.
No, you hypocrite. You a fool hypocrite. You a buffoon. That's
See,
what you are.
And the less religion is whenever you leave a restaurant or anything.
The highest level of buffoon is one that
Whenever you leave a restaurant or anything, the left then chases you because it's a symbolic thing that they're running you off. They're dominating you and stopping your speech. The left obsesses over Sandy Hook, hardly ever even talked about.
I'm not a
They then always use it as a reason to try to shut down my free
not
speech,
leftist.
and then they bring it up over and over again like I'm saying it because they're Sandy Hook vampires that feed off the dead children. So that's not me, that's them. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying,
But the
America
courts-
must defend the First Amendment.
The courts have ruled against
America
you.
will.
The courts have ruled against you, Sandy Hook.
No, they haven't.
You liar! You liar!
And no
yes.
courts have ruled against
They
me.
absolutely have.
This is just
They
made up
absolutely-
crap. Oh,
You're
courts.
lying again, baboon.
So I'm allowed to say Sandy Hook didn't happen if I want to, but he's over here saying the courts have ruled against me, and I've been found guilty of defamation, which hasn't happened.
They have.
But that's all this guy does. They want to drown out my communications about
How can I drown out some
violations or restrictions of free speech
can I drown
in
out
America
that?
with this kind of stuff right
I
here.
can't.
Alex, why did you think it was important to bring up Julian Assange today?
Well, because Julian Assange is a hero, and President Trump said openly that, hey, if you've got it, Julian Assange, great, WikiLeaks is great, release the info. Doesn't matter where it came from. Hillary was the one committing the crimes, the illegal servers, all of it.
But they do.
And so this is what's going on. And now they're using that to go after reporters. You know, Obama went after more reporters and whistleblowers than all presidents before him combined. And Assange used to be the darling.
Yeah, before, but not since.
That's right. Trump doesn't go after the press. Okay.
No, they don't. He doesn't. You're what? Well, how many times can you lie?
He speaks out against them.
How many times can you lie?
Who has President Trump arrested from the press? Anyways, the point is...
Arrested means he's going after them. Only arrested. This guy thinks only arrested is going after the press. That's what he thinks. Because he perpetuates his lies. He lies to perpetuate all of his lies.
That's Assange released. He's the only journalist Trump's had arrested when Obama had hundreds arrested. So it's really a black mark on Trump. He needs to free Julian Assange. And they'll have a bull. The leftists can't shout you down. As they're just like, they want to just drown everything out.
That's okay.
No free speech.
The guy has to use
so anyways, here, let's go ahead and
100-watt megaphone.
No, that's right, buddy.
He has to use that, and then he'll say, I'm trying to drown people out. Again, hypocrite. Once again, proven hypocrite.
Well, Alex, I can't go too far. You're illegal. Can you stay here for a second?
All that's put out to make it sound like I'm losing. I'm winning.
No, but you got expenses, right? How do you pay for it?
We have hundreds of radio stations.
Okay, cool. You got donations?
Listen, the whole
Alex, what are you trying to do here
today? The whole corporate left said Trump was a Russian agent was going down.
But they said I was a war of attrition? Is it a war of attrition?
It's a war of attrition.
Against guys like you?
Yes. And we're winning.
Damn.
I know. 63 times out of 67 times.
The danger of propaganda, dude. You can deconstruct our democracy in plain sight.
Free speech will be restored.
You're an idiot!
Bruce! Good job, Bruce! Good job!
Big Bruce is on the loose. Don't get a gun, get a noose.
Trump is not pro-First Amendment, you idiot!
President Trump
You're
is
all
standing against big
propaganda!
tech
You're
censorship.
fake news walking propaganda talking! Alex Bursting Balls Jones! God damn, you stupid asshole! He's a piece of shit! You pay attention to him. You might see that you might.
Bro.
That's why I was holding this before. When you're trying to teach us something, that's why I was holding this. You idiot! That was responding. All right? First of all, you learn the laws of the United States of America.
You're all talk, that's all you are! A big bag of gas!
You guys got him really pissed off. He's now walking across Lafayette Park.
Can you quote this verbatim? Huh? Alex Jones, how much do you love our Constitution?
He doesn't.
Oh, run away just like all of them do. They can't stand up for a debate. They cannot stand up for a debate. You run away because you can't stand up to a debate. You cannot stand up to debate. You can't.
You just chased him out,
because
bro.
you'll lose. Thank you. Keep running. Keep running away, Alex Jones. Next time, prepare to debate me. You have to debate for you have to prepare for 5 years.
I don't know why
I
people
don't
take him seriously.
understand. I think he's a performance artist.
Of course.
I think it's a joke.
Of course. He's no better than a morning zoo guy. He went for a little, little publicity today.
20 minutes.
He got his 20 minutes. So,
And
bro, you did a great job, man. It was a pleasure meeting you and talking to you earlier. And then you got right in that scrum with your wheelchair as Alex Jones was drowning you out with his megaphone.
you know what I wanted? I wanted for his arm to swing, and it hit me.
you?
And I wanted
Charge
Secret
him with
Service,
assault, man.
get
That would've been
around,
sweet.
charge him for assault. And you know what? The dude, he's very good at plagiarism, and he's gotten a whole lot of money from his plagiarism.
Yeah.
And he's gotten a lot of money from calling out false flags. No, but check this out. His false flags that he calls out. What's happened is before he called out the false flag, he has shot a video of it being a false
I'm proud
flag.
to say I don't care and I don't listen to him.
No. And I want
I just
the only
ignore
thing
him.
is that I care about is my fellow civilians in the United States of America that are being bamboozled
That's
by
it, man.
somebody that knows the art.
That's the problem with your democracy. I'm Canadian. Democracy doesn't work unless the electorate is informed and
You have to
educated.
be educated. But you see, when the United States keeps on finishing 20-something, 28 during George W. Bush, 48 and 52 in the world in public education. They have created this thing where now the people are not that educated when they go to the polling booth. And that's what's happening. Unfortunately, I don't like to say that about my fellow citizens in the United States of America, but
You're not wrong.
it's these types.
Listen, I got to go, bro. You're not wrong.
Peace and love.
You gave me a great podcast. I mean, you got right in there with Alex Jones. And before that, we were crushing it. So
Right.
I'm going to run. I got to go. But hopefully I'll see you before I leave. Back to New York, all right? Peace, brother. Respect. Respect. All right. That was unbelievable. I'm running to try to catch up to Alex Jones. I don't know if it's going to happen. But homeless Bruce, who's running for the presidency, he chased after Alex Jones. All right, wait, I think we got Alex is ready to go at it again here with his megaphone. And the homeless Bruce is following him screaming. Bro, you're chasing him with all your stuff, with the car and everything.
It's not me. It's the First Amendment.
Right.
The First Amendment. Here it comes. You're a liar. Alex Jones is a liar, a propagandist, a traitor.
We're here to get President Trump to stand up.
He's lying.
We're here to get President Trump.
No matter what he says, even before he starts talking, he's lying.
We're calling for President Trump.
He rewired his neurology to lie to itself on a 24/7 loop.
And what they've been doing to the American people. And so that's
Liar! He's a liar!
It's vital for you to stand up against the big tech monopolies. It's absolutely vital for you to stand up against the violations.
Democrat!
This is his take two. He didn't like the first one, so he's redoing it.
I know.
He's redoing it.
Poor baby! Maybe you can come back another time when the First Amendment's more comfortable.
Stand up for free speech. Now,
Liar! Liar!
must release
You don't stand up for
Julian
nothing but
Julian
lying!
Assange didn't do anything wrong.
Lying and
But
corruption
whistleblower
is
exposed
your
criminal activity.
meal
Free
ticket!
Julian Assange.
It's what
Free
pays your
Julian
bills!
Assange. Free Julian
Propagandist!
Assange.
You're a liar! Trump is a dick! Trump is a dick! Goddamn Trump! Goddamn Alex Jones!
You roll. You roll. Everyone is laughing at Alex
Slither for
Jones.
sale!
All right.
Come on! Bribe the snake and watch it slither! Pay the worm and see it squirm! Alex Jones is just slithering for the snake! He's just slithering for the snake! He keeps bowing down and bending over for the snake!
Every major government is involved.
You're throwing him
in
off.
elections.
You're throwing him off. His teeth are clenched. He's so mad at me.
Agent Orange is poison! Stop snorting the Agent Orange, Alex!
First Amendment.
Maybe,
Yes, the First Amendment.
maybe, that symptom of wandering penis syndrome will leave you alone!
It's William Shakespeare Day today. It's William Shakespeare Day. Talk like William Shakespeare.
Hey, it was Trump's birthday a couple days ago! It was Hitler's birthday! Trump is a dick! Dictator taught a spoiled baby brat in a grown man's body following his whatever wannabe. Dictator
There is a
taught
tide in the affairs of men when taken at the flood leads on to fortune. We are now at that point, President Trump, where you stand in the gap of history.
All right. He's just a babbling ass.
Squat and dump Alex Jones! Squat and dump the Putin! But really, hey Trump, open up the bathrooms! People actually have to squat and dump Trump! The Trump supporters, they don't need to vote for the next 5 years.
So this is what's going on. I decided to come down to the White House just to hang out and talk to some of the people that are out here every day protesting and trying to get their voice heard. And out of nowhere, Alex Jones came with his megaphone. He did a whole spiel. You heard pretty much all of it. And then he went with his people. They had a little meeting in Lafayette Park, which is right across from the White House. And they decided that he could do better. So now he's literally redoing an impromptu rant to Trump and the White House, right in front of the White House at the White House gates. That's exactly what's going on here today. There's turned out to be a lot of fun. All right, I'm walking away from the White House. I don't know if this is good or bad, but that was a lot of chaos. a lot of chaos. I was trying to get Alex Jones on the podcast, but there was a ton of us around him as he was ranting and raving, and now there's even more people, and now like mainstream media has showed up because the word got out that Alex Jones was here with his megaphone doing one of his pop-ups, and he was out of breath, man. He was out of breath. I thought he was going to drop dead of a heart attack. All right, a little taste. I think we did it. I think we did it for the OpieRadio podcast. I'd go back, but I think it's pretty much the same shit that he was spewing about 20 minutes ago. You could hear him in the distance. Now he's promoting InfoWars. I have to say, most of the people were just literally laughing as they had their cameras up filming Alex Jones in front of the White House, yelling through his megaphone. The Secret Service, really tough, strong, stoic men and women, and they were just all chuckling to themselves watching the Alex Jones show. I'm going to try to get in the middle of this group one more time and see what happens. I don't know if I'll be able to, but we'll see. There's just way too many people around him.
Alex Jones is a propagandist. He's lying in a willing conspiracy against the USA. He's not a patriot. He's a traitor. Yes, exactly. There you go, Alex.
The hoax that we're Russian agents all over.
You're a
It's the Democrat leadership that sold us out to China and others. Your whole hoax has failed.
Bill Maher.
Leftist hoax that pro-Americans are Russian agents is
Bill
over.
Maher.
You failed, mental patient.
You're an idiot.
You and Rachel Maddow are failed mental patients.
You're an idiot, Alex Jones.
No, I'm winning, you're losing.
You're a complete idiot.
I'm winning, you're losing.
No, really?
Newswars.com. Newswars.com. Tomorrow's news today. Newswars.com. No one can stop it.
Oh, I so wish I could see that.
What were you reaching for, Bruce?
The little penis.
A little penis?
The little Trump, so I can put him here and say suck it.
Why don't you hand him the little penis?
I wouldn't have had it to him.
Hand him the little penis.
Oh God, I guess I can't find it.
You can't find it. You gotta be prepared for this stuff,
Yeah,
Bruce. You
I
gotta
know.
be prepared.
No doubt.
You
Fuck.
should have a little penis in your
He's
back
lying. Can't hear what he's saying, but he's lying to himself. He's lying to himself. Look out! It's about to erupt. Bursting Balls Jones is about to
You're a
erupt.
clapper-clawed, base court,
He's
back-fouling,
lying right now. Whatever he's saying.
ball-brained, clapper-clawed,
You're a dick.
clay-brained,
Trump is a dick.
comet-kissing, crook-painted,
You're an STD.
evil-dreaming, dizzy-eyed,
Public service announcement.
dog-hearted,
Make sure you get the
thread-bolted,
syphilis treated before it reaches
earth-vexing,
your brain,
elf-skinned,
or you'll end up like Alex
fat-kidneyed,
Jones.
fan-sucked. These are good. Love Shakespeare.
Yeah, I know.
Apple John,
When you can't think for
Baggart,
yourself,
Barnacle,
and you're
Flattered,
wonderful.
Boar Pig,
When did you
Bugger,
learn? When did you learn to
Bob
read?
Bailey, Cracker Blossom,
When did you learn to
Glad
read?
Dish, Clot Pole. That's pretty fun to read Shakespeare, this guy.
Butt face. I think that just covers you.
You're funnier, Bruce. You're funnier, Bruce.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Agent Orange is poison. Stop snorting the Agent Orange, Alex. Wandering penis syndrome with a megaphone. There you go. That's you, Alex Jones. You making your mom proud yet? Wandering penis with a megaphone in front of the White House in D.C. Have you made it yet?
Oh, I wish I had the penis, bro. That would be a great ending to this.
He's talking now.
All right, try to find the penis.
Oh, there it is.
Here, you want me to hand it to him? Here, let me hand. You want me to hand it to him?
Hey, Alex.
Stand up against the censorship.
Suck it, Alex.
Take action.
Hey, Alex, suck it. Look, suck it. I got your God right here. Suck it. Come on, suck it, you know? Suck it. You know the obscenity is you. You are the obscenity. The obscenity is Trump. You're a 666 dick. An STD on the...
It's called a boom pistol.
circles Trump.
On
You're an
Shakespeare Day-
STD circling the
Listen,
dick that is Trump.
Hey,
Is your mom proud? I'm sure she is.
on Shakespeare Day,
Woo!
on Shakespeare Day,
You're an STD. Social toxicity disorder is another way of
on
saying bullying.
Shakespeare Day, it's called a bull's pizzle.
What about Hitler's birthday? You know, Trump's birthday a couple days ago.
Right.
Wanna be Hitler, Trump? Nazi Party, GOP.
Dude, it's Shakespeare
You're a
Day.
dick. You're a dick, Alex. You're a dick.
We're working our way through the crowd. I think it's time to get the hell out of here. Quite the scene outside the White House. I can't get close to Alex Jones, unfortunately.
Thank you. You're a legend, man. No, you are, brother. God bless. Yeah.
All right, now he's taking pictures. I can't get near him.
And not shut down our speech. We're at InfoWars.com and NewsWars.com.
I was lucky enough to see one of the Alex Jones pop-ups. And it was everything I was hoping it would be. My God. You can still hear Bruce in the background. My new friend. He's a homeless guy that hangs outside the White House, and he's got balls. He got Alex Jones so pissed off. Alex Jones at one point had clenched teeth because he was in the middle of a rant, and he had to stop because something Bruce said just drove him nuts, and he had to start over. So, oh my God, that was great. Walking through Lafayette Park, across from the White House. What a day, what a day. He just won't stop. He loves the attention. Not a fan of Alex Jones, by the way. That whole Sandy Hook shit. All right. I don't know what this was, but I know it was an episode of the OpieRadio podcast. Wrap it up.